Yeah, today we've got the rain to contend with, and it looks like actually a chance of thunderstorms intensifying throughout the afternoon hours. Checking in with our weather tracker sites, starting out on the warm side, upper 60s and low 70s for our current temperatures. 69 degrees Calumet City. Southeasterly winds will pick up throughout the afternoon. Doppler showing a whole lot of green, and as I mentioned, we're not only looking at rain today, but thunderstorms to develop as well.
Okay, and the roads.
And with the rain coming down, those travel times are going up. Let's take a look at the travel times right now. Building especially quickly. There you go. There's the rain on the 294 on the Tri-State Tollway. You can see how that's slowing things down. They are usually southbound zipping along in great shape right now, but here it's slower than normal. All right, travel times on the expressways outbound side of the Kennedy, 32 out to O'Hare, and the outbound Eisenhower is over 40 out to Route 53. So all of the travel times definitely going up, and we'll check them out for you coming up in the next report. Desita, back to you.
All right, thank you, Don. It is 6:01, and our top story at this hour. Some Chicago cabbies say they may begin a 24-hour strike today to protest rising gas prices.
NBC5's Kim Vadas is live at City Hall with more information. Kim?
Well, while the threat of a strike had been looming around overnight, early this morning, the word is on the street from cab drivers is that they're not going to strike. However, because word may not have gotten out to everybody, you may find a tough time this morning trying to hail a cab, but they still plan on petitioning the city. We understand now that a petition is circulating. What they want to do is force a hearing here at City Hall, because with the rising gas prices, obviously that's cutting into their profits, and they want permission from the city to raise their rates to try and compensate. Many of the cab drivers are saying that they're spending an extra $20 a day at least to try and feed their gas tanks. And what they're hoping for is some relief, because at the end of the month, that can really add up and cut into their profits.
It cut from the money I take home usually, because the lease is still there and all other costs are there, and so that affects the price.
And what do you want City Hall to do now?
To raise the price or help to cut the price of the gas down. Yeah.
Now, to formally petition the city, they would need 10,000 signatures from the 17,000 cab drivers registered. That would, in effect, force the city to call a hearing to look into the possibility of raising rates. And again, while there was word on the street of a strike overnight, what we're hearing from cab drivers this morning is that it has been called off. We're live here at City Hall. Kim Vadas, NBC5, Chicago.
All right, Kim, and soaring gas prices are not just affecting cab drivers. All Chicago motorists paying the highest premiums in the country, as many of you already know. At a congressional hearing, legislators tried to uncover some answers yesterday. An oil industry spokesperson says the city's high taxes are to blame. Chicago charging some 42 cents a gallon in taxes, the highest in the nation. But some politicians say it's not local taxes.
BP Amoco's first quarter profits are up 296% over the first quarter last year.
I am increasingly of the opinion that we are being gouged.
Tomorrow, leaders of OPEC meet to consider increasing production, which could lower prices weeks down the road.
70 degrees right now in downtown Chicago. Checking out the news, police are hoping to identify a woman who was found dead in a vacant building on the south side of Chicago. Neighbors noticed a foul odor coming from a building here on 113th Place. Inside, they discovered the decomposed body of a woman on the floor of a closet.
And there's a black plastic bag in the closet, blood everywhere, and we discovered there was a human being.
At this hour, police investigators are trying to learn the identity of the woman in the closet.
A suspect is in custody, I should say, for the murder of a Southside auto dealer. 32-year-old Oscar Patton is charged in connection with the death of Patrick Galvin. Police say Patton was one of 3 gunmen who went into Avante Auto Sales on 119th and Western Saturday afternoon. The gunmen reportedly forced the dealership's owners into a bathroom, and Galvin was shot to death. Today, Indiana police begin questioning a man they brought back from Arizona last night. They say Christopher Matson may know something about the shooting death of a local oil executive. 56-year-old Rick Pinkerton was gunned down in his home during the Memorial Day weekend.
A new sketch is released of a man wanted for a series of sexual assaults against Asian women on the north side of town. The latest victim gave police this new composite sketch of the suspect by way of a police investigation. Here he looks older and heavier in that composite sketch that you saw a few minutes ago. Investigators are also looking for a dark green 4-door car with gold wheels. That vehicle was spotted near the scene of 2 of those most recent attacks.
Later today, the Reverend Jesse Jackson heading to Texas to try to stop an execution.
Stop choosing politics
Yesterday, 100 protesters joined the Reverend to march outside the Republican Party offices in the Loop. They want Texas Governor George W. Bush to stay the execution of a death row inmate, Gary Graham. He's scheduled to be executed on Thursday. Jackson says there is new evidence that could prove Graham's innocence.
A fence around a Northwest Side construction site is apparently now secure. If you'll recall, a child climbed over that fence over the weekend and drowned in an excavated pool. The property is owned by the Chicago Park District. 10-year-old Derek Young reportedly entered the area on a dare from his friends. He jumped in a hole filled with water and drowned. Neighbors say they have repeatedly complained that the area was unsafe to kids. The Park District now says it has fixed that fence.
The White Sox finding themselves getting much more attention now. First, their impressive record, but also after a recent assault reported outside Comiskey Park earlier this month, the focus is on security. A more visible police presence at last night's game, officers assisting in crowd control, security. They were also there in unmarked cars. A sports radio host was attacked outside the park after a Cubs-Sox game, and police say the problems at Comiskey are exaggerated.
Well, it was a night of rioting in Los Angeles. The Lakers championship celebration turned violent. Fans burned and damaged police cars, a TV news truck, and several other vehicles. At least 11 people are injured after the looting, which began about an hour after the Lakers clinched the title over the Indiana Pacers. A number of people are apparently behind bars this morning. The Lakers beat the Pacers in Game 6 of the NBA Finals last night to claim that championship.
The first full day of summer tomorrow, but for some Chicago public school students, what that means is that today is the first full day of summer school. Mayor Daley ringing the school bell at the Edward Jenner Academy of the Arts School on the city's near north side. Summer school is now mandatory for those students who did not make the grade. Social promotions were banned under the school reform plan in Chicago. And as we've reported, there were problems in L.A. following the Lakers NBA championship coming up. However, we have highlights from the game on the court.
In the news, British police are searching for answers after 58 people died in the back of a truck.
And from bee stings to swimmer's ear, our Good Housekeeping report helps parents brush up on their first aid skills.
And speaking of summer, it arrives tonight. First full day of summer tomorrow. We, however, have rain in our forecast. I'll have details straight ahead.
Yeah, we do. There's a live shot of the rain on 294, the Tri-State Tollway. We'll see how the rain is affecting your commute coming up.
NBC5 News is brought to you in part by your local Dodge dealer.
It is 9 minutes after 6 a.m. and you can already see, well, you can see the rain in the traffic trackers, right? And on Doppler.
Yes, and the rain is only going to intensify throughout the daytime hours. We want to go ahead and take you outside, give you a live look. Cloudy skies, rain showers in the area, especially the west and northwestern suburbs. Let's go ahead and give you a live look at Doppler radar. Widespread showers throughout the afternoon. We're also expecting the thunderstorms to pop up, and those thunderstorms expected to continue into the evening hours. Already in McHenry and Lake County, waking up to some rain. Great America, might want to call and find out what their schedule is today because of that rainfall. We'll have the full forecast and a drying trend for you in just a minute.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, the rain's certainly slowing things down on the roads. Let's go to the maps and check in on northwest Indiana. If that's your route this morning, we've got delays from the state line already over to the Bishop Ford. Had some overnight road work lingering out there eastbound around Burr. That was scheduled to be picked up at 6. On the Bishop Ford coming inbound, we've got a delay from Michigan into the Dan Ryan. I-57 hits the brakes from Halstead into the Ryan, so not bad on the Bishop Ford or I-57 just yet, but 80-94 pretty slow for this hour already. Let's check in with Sky 5 and Mike Lober, find out if the raindrops are slowing things down where he is. Morning, Mike.
Good morning, Donna. We have found the rain right here at the Tri-State and the Stevenson. Pretty much raining west of the Tri-State, but not east of the Tri-State yet. Inbound Stevenson, not as bad as you would expect, though. Delays running First Avenue inbound towards Mount Kedzie, Dawn.
Yeah, it's just under 40 minutes. Thanks, Mike. Just under 40 Tri-State to Lakeshore Drive if you're an I-55 commuter. But boy, look at that Kennedy already. 6:10 in the morning. It's 36 minutes from downtown out to O'Hare. The outbound Eisenhower is pretty tough, too. Almost a half hour to Manheim, over 40 minutes out to Route 53. And the Stevenson loads up, merged to 71st and 31st now into the Circle Interchange. That's almost a half hour from 95th into downtown. Nisita, Art, back to you.
All right, thank you, Don. Up next, evangelist Billy Graham is hospitalized in Minnesota.
We'll have an update on his condition next on NBC5.
What are the do's and don'ts on the internet? A website helping beginners surf the web.
And still ahead,
remove the stinger, use something hard like a credit card, and push the stinger out.
today's Good Housekeeping Report has summer survival tips on how to handle first aid emergencies.
And later on, vaudeville returning to Chicago this week. You're going to meet a world-class performer. What is he juggling?
NBC5 Weather is brought to you in part by Subaru.
Welcome back to NBC5. It is Tuesday, the 20th day of June. Shelley Monahan's calling for a high today in the low 80s. You might want to carry the umbrella if you're getting ready to walk out the door right now.
Doesn't look like it's raining yet on the NBC Plaza there, but it will. 6:13 and checking our top stories this morning. The LA Lakers are the 2000 NBA champs. Shaquille O'Neal leading his team past the Indiana Pacers in Game 6 of the NBA Finals. Final score, 116-111. O'Neal had 41 points in the clincher, was named the most valuable player in the series. British customs agents investigating a gruesome discovery. The corpses of 58 undocumented immigrants are found in a truck used to haul tomatoes. 2 people were found alive in the truck, which had just crossed the English Channel by ferry. Agents say the victims appeared to be from China. Evangelist Billy Graham recovering at the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota. A spokesman says the 81-year-old is being treated for fluid buildup around the brain, and he should recover. Graham is also undergoing treatment for his Parkinson's condition.
6:14 is the time right now. Here's what's happening on the World Wide Web today. A new computer virus is causing big problems for Fortune 100 companies. Experts say the virus is called Stages, and it can shut down your email system. The new virus looks like a harmless text file, but it sends itself out to everyone listed on your computer address book. But Stages does not harm computer files like the I Love You virus that we talked about last week. Every now and then, there are some folks who just don't know how to hit the road, the super information highway we're talking about. There are rules for the road. And before you venture out, you might want to pick up some of the rules for surfing the internet. Net Etiquette homepage features some of the basic do's and don'ts for beginners and for those of us who may need a refresher course. Just log on to www.albion.com.
Some gray skies out there.
Some gray skies, some wet skies too, as you're going to see in a moment on Doppler. Let's go outside and give you a live look. This Tuesday morning, we've got the cloud cover and the rain just to the west of us now. Current temperatures in the upper 60s and low 70s, 67 degrees at O'Hare. Winds right now from the south at 12 miles an hour. Look for those southeasterly winds to pick up throughout the day. Well, there you see it. If it is not yet raining in your area, it is indeed on the way. Seeing scattered showers throughout portions of McHenry and Lake County. Already in Mundelein, Lake Zurich, Wakanda seeing the showers, as well as Antioch. The good news for those of you in the Antioch area, I know there are some concerns about possible flooding. Right now, the rain is light. Unfortunately, though, later on this afternoon, could see some isolated thunderstorms pop up. The forecast, rain, thunderstorms through this evening. Temperatures this afternoon in the low 80s.
Oh, well, just get through today.
That's right. On the roads this morning, that rain is definitely affecting your morning commute with the travel times going up. Let's check in again with Sky 5 and Mike Lorber. Mike, you found a little fender bender too, huh?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like much, Dawn. It's northbound Tri-State right here on the shoulder at 95th Street, but the location is not good. Everything off on the shoulder, but you'll see some big delays on the northbound Tri-State well before Cicero Avenue all the way up to 95th, and then a little pocket around the mile-long bridge, Dawn.
Thank you, sir. Let's check in with our traffic tracker out there as well on the 294 around Irving Park. Boy, does it look gray out there, huh? Right here at Irving Park on the Tri-State. We've got delays on the inbound Northwest Tollway now, and on the inbound East-West Tollway. Pretty snug from that Tri-State right into the Eisenhower. What about the travel times? Yikes. Outbound Kennedy, just about 40 minutes now downtown out to the airport. Outbound Eisenhower, we've been talking about this all morning. It's pretty tough. Half hour out to Mannheim, 45 now out to Route 53. Coming in on the Ike, Not bad just yet this morning. Stevenson, that's up several minutes from the last time we spoke. 45 minutes now from the Tri-State to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound side of the Stevenson also tough this morning. If you're going to be heading from Lakeshore Drive out to the Tri-State, give yourself at least 35 minutes there. And the Dan Ryan's just under a half hour from 95th into downtown. That's NBC5 traffic. Nasita, back to you.
All right, thank you, Don. It is 6:17, and before the kids start their summer vacation, now is the time to brush up on simple first aid rules. See whether you would know what to do by taking this first aid quiz in this morning's Good Housekeeping Report.
For kids, summer means splashing around and having fun outside. But for parents, it can also mean first aid. If your child was stung by a bee, what would you do?
To remove the stinger, use something hard like a credit card and push the stinger out. And then to relieve the pain, you can dab on ammonia or a combination of baking soda and water. If your child starts wheezing, that could be a serious problem and you should immediately go to an emergency room.
You can help prevent bee stings by serving sweet drinks outdoors in tight closing sports bottles or sippy cups. Now, what if your child plays in an area where deer ticks carry Lyme disease?
Each night, the parents should carefully examine the child from top to bottom to see if they can find a tick. And if they do, it's important to remove the entire tick and then clean the area with soap and water. So removing it properly will prevent the disease.
Next question, what if your kid gets poison ivy?
In order to remove the poison ivy oil, you need to give the child a cool bath to which either oatmeal or baking soda has been added. To soothe the itching, you can use either calamine lotion or cortisone cream.
And what would you do if your child has swimmer's ear? Good Housekeeping says you should buy over-the-counter swimmer's ear drops. You can help avoid swimmer's ear by giving your kids MAC earplugs to block out water, or making a homemade version of a cotton ball dipped in petroleum jelly. I'm Rena Malashevsky for today's Good Housekeeping Report.
If you'd like more information on this Good Housekeeping Report, Art was going to help me read this. I could always use some help. Look us up on the web at NBC5.com.
Okay, folks, things are up in the air literally this morning. You got to see this next piece.
We are juggling things around on Cityfront Plaza, so to speak. Our Sharon Wright is... That's not really juggling, Sharon. That doesn't really count.
That's cheating.
I'm hanging out here on the plaza with my pal Andy Head, who is a champion juggler. And he tells me that vaudeville is alive and well.
Oh, yeah.
At the Rialto Square Theater in Joliet.
That's correct.
How so?
Well, we're putting together a show called Vaudeville, and it's a bunch of new vaudeville performers, myself, along with a dog act and a championship rope jumper.
What was the thinking behind all of this?
My agent put this show together. I have no idea. I just was invited to perform, I guess.
Let's see you do a few tricks here. Elaine Griffin, as Andy does a little performance for us here, the kids are going to have a great chance to come out and see it.
Right, it's a family show. Yeah, it's really a family show because this is the kind of fun things that, I mean, look at Andy. He's amazing, and it's a very interactive show as well, where the kids get the opportunity to, learn how to juggle. We also have a wonderful dog act, and the dog Olive Oil is the champion dog. He jump ropes with the family, which is hysterical. And then we have the rope warrior, who does some amazing rope tricks. So it's really going to be a show for everybody.
2 o'clock tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Wednesday.
One performance only.
Right, at the Rialto Square Theater in downtown Joliet.
Well, you can come see Andy, you can come see jumping dogs and all kinds of hat tricks and so forth at the Rialto tomorrow at 2. Reporting live from the NBC Plaza, Sharon Wright, NBC5 Chicago. Back to you.
Sharon, you've got to work on that juggling. One ball doesn't count. Thanks,
she said,
Sharon.
don't blow me away. I was faking it. Still ahead here on NBC5, we're going to talk to our friends on the Today Show, and the kids are getting ready.
Also, a check on our top stories. Let's check in with Ken.
Well, cabbies planning to protest those soaring gas prices. We'll have the latest in a live report coming up at 6:30.
Researchers say patients may be able to overcome the negative effects from antidepressants by using a mind-body approach. Details coming up in Health Watch.
First Birthdays on NBC5 is brought to you by Wolf Camera.
It is birthday time here at NBC5, and Claire Margaret Stillman, she just makes me want to smile. Just looking at that beautiful picture makes you want to smile.
This next photo comes from the Downey family. Alyssa getting ready for a big party today. Happy birthday, Alyssa.
And Caitlin May McGovern. Oh, could it really be my first birthday? That's a great shot to the McGovern family. Happy birthday.
And here's a member of the NBC5 family. He's going to be a future investigative reporter, just like his dad, Dave Savini's son, Dominic Dave Savini. What do you think, Shelley?
He looks just like Dad.
That's how Dave's hair is every day, right there.
If you'd like to see your child right here on NBC5 in the morning, it's real easy. This is the address. First Birthdays, NBC5, 454 North Columbus Drive, Chicago, Illinois, 60611-5555. We're sorry we can't return the photos, but we'll get them on the air as fast as possible.
There's a live look outside. We have a lot of cloud cover. The showers have already moved in. Let's go ahead and give you a live look at Doppler radar. A whole lot of green going on out there. For those of you in McHenry and Lake County, already waking up to some rain showers. Antioch, be advised, later on this afternoon and on into this evening, we are looking at thunderstorms to develop. And as you well know in the Antioch area, this can oftentimes mean brief heavy downpours. So for those of you along the Fox River and the Des Plaines River, be on alert throughout the afternoon and evening. Close-up view of the NBC Tower. You see, that would look like there's some very heavy rain.
Right.
All right, I've got a trivia question for you.
Okay.
That's not rain. What is it? I'll tell you in a few minutes.
Let's go to New York City and get a preview of what's coming up at 7 o'clock this morning on the Today Show.
Katie's joining us this morning. Hey, Katie, how are you?
Good, thanks, Nasita and Art. Good to see you both. And coming up this Tuesday on Today, there was trouble overnight in L.A. after the Lakers won the NBA championship last night. We'll have details. The newly released FBI documents show there were at least 3 separate kidnapping threats made against JFK Jr. during his lifetime, 2 of which we never knew about. We'll tell you about those. And you don't have to know putts from pars to know that Tiger Woods is a major sports phenomenon. Has he replaced Michael Jordan as the most marketable celebrity in the world? Then what's up with airfares? If you've tried to plan a summer vacation, you know that prices are sky high right now. We'll see if there are any bargains to be had out there. And finally, this morning, we'll kick off our summer-long series called Tie the Knot. Today, we'll meet 4 engaged couples, one of which will be chosen by you at home to get married right here on this program. So all that and more coming up in just a few minutes here on Today. Art and Nasita, back to you two in Chicago.
Katie, we love your hairstyle. It looks wonderful.
Really?
Yeah.
Fashion expert over here. He was saying it's lighter.
It is. It's a little lighter. I know. It's amazing what the sun will do when you're on vacation, isn't it?
Hey.
I have the same feeling. Thanks, Katie.
I'm waiting for Al Roker's hair to look like that.
Yeah, we're going to put a few highlights in Al's hair as well.
Okay, thank you, Katie.
Kind of a Dennis Rodman thing.
And we'll see everyone at 7 a.m., of course.
Like, buy a blonde wig for Al Roker.
Oh, you could bring it up to him if you wanted.
We'll update our top news stories of the hour. We're going to check on your out-the-door forecast and travel times next after commercial break.
From the WMAQ-TV newsroom, this is NBC5 Chicago, live at 6:30 a.m.
Good morning, Chicago. Overnight, a shocking discovery in a vacant apartment building here. Neighbors investigated a foul odor and discovered a woman's body.
Cab drivers fed up with the high price of gasoline are demanding action from City Hall.
Plus, we'll introduce you to a world champion juggler who has won national awards for this kind of talent. We're going to talk to him live in just a few minutes, exactly 6:31 in your Tuesday morning. Hello again, I'm Art Norman.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nasita Kwan. Better bring your umbrella or your raincoat. Get ready for some wet weather today.
Some wet weather. It'd be kind of cool to try and juggle your umbrella today. We're going to go ahead and give you a look at some of our weather tracker sites. Already starting to see some rainfall showing up, 0.07 of an inch in Barrington. Temperature of 66 degrees. We are warm. We are going to see muggy conditions throughout the afternoon. Showers right now, but there's a very good chance of isolated thunderstorms popping up throughout the afternoon and evening hours as we give you a live look at Doppler radar. A lot of green and a whole lot more on the way.
And that's pushing up those travel times pretty quickly this morning as we head out. Let's check in with Sky 5 and Mike Lorber.
Don, we have big time delays northbound Tri-State Kedzie all the way up through 95th. This accident on the shoulder, right back in the brakes, 83rd through the Hinsdale Oasis, and more backups as you approach O'Hare, Don.
Mike, it looks dry right there in that spot. Is it dry?
It is dry, yeah. This area around the southwest suburbs around Oak Lawn, it's dry. I've got reports from other areas, though, that it's raining around the Kennedy Junction and moving in towards downtown.
Yeah, it's not going to stay dry in that spot for very long. All right, we do have rain elsewhere, though, and in Barrington Hills, heads up for a crash on Highway 62 just east of 25. Travel times coming up in just moments. Arthur, back to you.
Updating our top story, some Chicago cab drivers say they may go on a 24-hour strike because of the high price of gasoline.
The cabbies are demanding action from City Hall, and that's where we find NBC5's Kim Vadas right now. Kim?
While they had planned for a strike, there doesn't appear to be any shortage of cabs on the streets this morning as far as we can tell. In fact, word on the street is that this strike has been called off. However, they worry that some cab drivers may not get notice and may decide to turn off their engines and stay home until they get word. Now, of course, they still plan to petition the city. What they're hoping for is that the city will allow them to raise rates to compensate for the soaring gas prices that they've been struggling with. Many of the cab drivers say it is cutting way into their profits. Some of them report spending an extra $20 to $30 a day to fill up their tanks, obviously cutting into their profits, especially when you add up the extra gas prices at month's end.
It cut from the money I take home usually because the lease is still there and all other costs are there, and so that affects the price.
And what do you want City Hall to do now?
To raise the price or help to cut the price of the gas down. Yeah.
Now, the cab drivers again circulating a petition, but they would need 10,000 signatures of the 17,000 cab drivers on the road to force a full hearing here at City Hall to consider a rate hike. No word yet if they accumulated that many signatures so far. But again, while they had planned a strike for today, word on the street is that the strike has been canceled. However, again, they're worried that word may not have gotten around to everyone, so it could be a difficult time catching a cab this morning. Yet again, though, we've seen plenty on the road here. We're live here at City Hall. Kim Vadas, NBC5, Chicago.
Thank you, Kim.
And reports say Chicagoans are paying the highest gas prices in the nation. And yesterday, a congressional hearing here in town tried to uncover some answers as to why. Well, an all-industry spokesman says local taxes are to blame. The city charges some 42 cents a gallon in taxes, the highest in the country. But some politicians suggested that oil companies are price gouging.
BP Amoco's first quarter profits are up 296% over the first quarter last year.
I am increasingly of the opinion that we are being gouged.
Tomorrow, leaders of OPEC will meet to consider increasing oil production, which could lower gasoline prices several weeks down the road.
Neighbors make a shocking discovery in a vacant building, the body of a woman. This was at 18th East 113 Place on the far south side. Neighbors entered the building to try and find out where a foul odor was coming from, and they reportedly discovered the decomposed body of the woman on a closet floor. Police are trying to learn the name of the woman.
A court date today for a man accused of murdering a Southside automobile dealer. Police say 32-year-old Oscar Patton, seen here, was one of 3 gunmen who went into the Avante Auto Sales dealership on 119th and Western Saturday afternoon. The gunman apparently forced the dealership's owners into a bathroom. Owner Patrick Galvin was shot to death. The other owner waited for the men to leave and then called police. Later on this morning, Indiana police will question a man in connection with an unsolved murder case. They brought 34-year-old Christopher Matson back from Arizona last night. Detectives say he may know something about the murder of local oil company executive Rick Pinkerton. Pinkerton was gunned down in the doorway of his home in Porter, Indiana, back on May 28th.
There is new information being distributed in the search for a man wanted for the recent sexual assaults of Asian women.
The latest victim helped police put a composite sketch together. This is it. The more recent one is on the right. He looks heavier and older. Investigators are also looking for a dark green four-door car, and that vehicle has gold wheels. It was spotted near the scene of at least 2 of the attacks. An increase in ballpark security at last night's Sox game. Police officers assisted crowd control and were also parked nearby in unmarked squad cars. It comes in the wake of recent attacks by some people against fans near Comiskey Park. Police say the problems are a bit exaggerated. There have actually been more incidents at Wrigleyville near the Cubs Park than Sox Park.
Summer school begins today for thousands of Chicago public school students. Mayor Daley will ring the school bell at the Edward Jenner Academy of the Arts School on the city's near north side, and then Summer school is on. It's mandatory for those students who did not make the grade. Social promotions were banned under the school reform plan in Chicago.
Still ahead here on NBC5, your up-to-the-minute rush hour travel times and your out-the-door forecast coming up.
Also, the thrill of victory bringing the agony of rioting by LA Lakers fans. We have the latest on that coming up.
And a look at ways to overcome the negative side effects of antidepressants. That's the subject of today's Health Watch report.
Plus, it's vaudeville making a big comeback. Did you do that? It's a brand new show. We're going to tell you all about it next.
Looking at Doppler and seeing a whole lot of green already, a lot of scattered showers throughout the Chicagoland area. The forecast for today calling for not only the scattered showers, but we're starting to see a little bit of yellow, orange, and red pop up. That indicates where the heavier rain is currently falling, and throughout the afternoon and evening hours, don't be surprised to see scattered thunderstorms. And again, as I mentioned earlier, that would look like there's heavy rain right over the downtown area. It is not rain. Folks, that shows up because of all of the high rises we have downtown. So you can consider that nothing but ground clutter right over downtown, but a whole lot of green and legitimate rain to our north, to our west, and to the south.
On the roads this morning because of the wet conditions, very high travel times, and some pretty a lot of hot spots out there as well. Lots to talk about. The maps we go in Barrington Hills. We've got a crash on Algonquin east of Lake Cook. Northbound Tri-State, huge delays here because of a crash on the side at 95th Street. Traveling in Lombard, we've got an accident North Avenue at Route 53. Southbound 55 on the ramp to I-80, heads up for an accident there. And just hearing about reports of an accident in the Fox Lake area, reportedly a rolled over minivan, northbound 12 at the Route 59 overpass, heads up there as well. Quick check-in with Sky 5 and Mike Lober on these tri-state delays. It's crazy, right, Mike?
We'll run them down real quick. They're nasty. Northbound I-57 in pockets up to the Hinsdale Oasis, and delays here from the east-west tollway to north of North Avenue, Don.
Peek at your favorite travel time because they're going to pop up real quick. The outbound Kennedy is almost an hour to O'Hare. The outbound side of the 290 is an hour and 5 minutes. Old Post Office out to Route 53. That's NBC5 traffic. Art Nacita, back to you.
All right, thank you, Don. It is 6:42, and coming up, you may want to use some extra caution when you check your email today. A new computer virus has invaded systems nationwide, and we'll have details next.
And we'll look at some new ways on how to overcome the serious side effects of antidepressants coming up.
You think you're having a tough time juggling your appointments today? Well, I want to show you juggling. I'm Sharon Wright. We're going to be back in a few minutes to tell you all about the new age of vaudeville coming up.
Welcome back to NBC5. Checking our top stories this morning at 6:45. Violence breaking out after the Los Angeles Lakers NBA championship. Fans set fires to a police car, a TV truck, and other vehicles. About a dozen people are reported injured. A number of people were arrested. The Lakers beat the Pacers last night to claim the NBA title. In Waco, Texas, opening statements today in the Branch Davidian lawsuit against the U.S. government. Federal agents accused of using excessive force in the 1993 siege on the Branch Davidian compound. The suit, filed by Davidian survivors and relatives, seeks $675 million in damages. And a new computer virus is causing big problems for Fortune 100 companies. Experts say the virus is called Stages. It can shut down your email system. The new virus looks like a harmless text file, but it sends itself out to everyone listed on the infected computer's address book. Stages, however, does not harm computer files in the same way that the love bug does.
6:46, turning to Health Watch News right now. Many people find medications that are meant to make them feel better actually make them feel worse. And this is especially true with some of the antidepressants. But there is a way to feel better. NBC's Lucky Severinsen reports.
Professional photographer Madeline Gray takes antidepressants. She has learned to live with the side effects.
I had trouble getting up. I could hardly walk. I could hardly talk.
But this spring, Madeline lost her focus. She had a toxic reaction to her prescription. All prescriptions have side effects. Now, one psychiatrist says when good drugs go bad, pay attention to the body, not the mind.
Sometimes side effects are not really side effects. They are actually a result of other underlying processes. Tomorrow morning.
Dr. Hedaya compares a patient's physical and mental health to a bank account.
By not eating the right foods, by being in a stressful situation or a job that you don't like or a bad relationship, well, this depletes your reserve.
Dr. Hedaya calls his mind-body approach to side effects whole psychiatry. He evaluates his patients with an extensive battery of tests, everything from hormone levels to food allergies. This is no cheap, quick fix.
And we'll spend $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 on a car. Will you spend $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 on your health?
Through tests, Madeline Gray learned that she has 22 food sensitivities that cause her to react badly to her medication. So she has changed her diet, started walking, and has come back from the depths of depression.
I don't know when I felt so good. I'm very happy, enthusiastic.
Click the health surfing button at NBC5.com. This is Lucky Severson reporting.
Well, vaudeville is making a comeback with a high-energy show.
A little bit of everything in this show. We'll be juggling it all. At least Sharon Wright will be. She's joining us live with more. Hi, Sharon.
Hey, who says I'm not a team player?
Wow.
We're getting in the mood here on the plaza with Andy Head. Andy, this is a big show, really big show, as they say.
Oh, yeah, sure. I used to watch the Ed Sullivan Show as a kid. That's one of the reasons I got into performing.
So now we've got vaudeville on stage at the Rialto in Joliet.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun show. It's a big variety show. It's an amazing dog act. There's a guy doing incredible stuff with jump rope tricks, stuff that you've never seen anybody do before on a jump rope. I'm doing all kinds of funny and amazing juggling tricks, getting the audience involved with the show. It's going to be a lot of fun. Senior citizens, the kids should be there.
How tough is it?
How tough is it? Well, I've been practicing for 20-some years. So,
You started off as a kid.
yeah, as a teenager, I used to do magic tricks, and then I think I was a freshman in high school, and I saw somebody on the Bozo Circus show, and
And the rest is history.
And the rest is history.
And you're going to be, I'm going to let you show us some of your tricks as we talk to Elaine Griffin. You're actually going to be able to show some of the kids some of the finer points of juggling. Elaine, this really was something that just came out of nowhere.
Right, right. Well, I mean, who would believe that vaudeville, that has been around for what, 100 years? Has now become so incredible. Do you know what I mean? And the fact that Andy, who's been doing it for 20 years, and he is amazing. I mean, what we're learning this morning, I mean, I'm having a blast here.
All right, that's 2 o'clock tomorrow at the Rialto Square Theater in Joliet. You're going to see Andy and dogs and everything you want to learn and see and take you back to the times of vaudeville. Reporting live from the NBC Plaza inside now, because the rain's coming. Sharon Wright, NBC5 Chicago, back to you.
Sharon, can you twirl that thing again? I don't believe you can do it again. Can you do it twice?
Come on, Art.
Oh, Sharon.
Oh, well, here, let's try some shoulder rolls.
Whoa! You're the
Almost
woman.
killed the cameraman.
Well,
wow.
She could be in the show, but people don't know it. She's a champion baton twirler.
Is she really?
Yes, she is.
Sharon, is that true?
That is true. World Championship.
Very talented young lady. Thank you, Sharon.
I thought I'd put her on the spot. She blew me away.
Most people do.
Oh.
If daylight seems to hang around longer than usual today, it's because of the summer solstice, which occurs at 8:48 tonight, making this the longest day of the year. And it marks the start of the summer season. Tomorrow, of course, will be the first official full day of summer, and I hope this rain goes away and we have a great forecast for the first full day of summer.
Don't make me separate you two.
You just make it so easy.
Oh,
you know, you
do it.
Feed a line right there. Good morning, everyone. We want to take you outside and give you a live look. Just keep that in mind. You get online next time. Now you know Sharon's gonna get you. Temperatures in the upper 60s and low 70s, giving you a live look outside. Cloudy skies, rain, as you're going to see in a moment on Doppler. 67 degrees at O'Hare. Winds from the south at 12 miles an hour. And look for those southerly winds to intensify throughout the afternoon. Well, there it is. If it is not yet raining where you live, as you can see on Doppler, it is indeed on its way. This is a live picture. Now, where you're seeing the yellow and orange and red, that indicates where the heavier rain is falling right now. There is a very good chance later on this afternoon and on into tonight that we will see indeed thunderstorms develop throughout the Chicagoland area. And what this means with those thunderstorms, the possibility of brief heavy downpours and some thunder and lightning. All right, let's go ahead and give you another version of radar imagery. There you see it. What we're basically going to see today and tonight is wave after wave of showers move through. With that, again, the possibility of thunderstorms. Will be warm and we will be muggy. Temperatures this afternoon in the upper 70s and low 80s. Winds from the south-southeast about 15 to 25 miles an hour. Sunset will be at 8:38 and officially summer arriving not too long after that. Hey, we make it through today. We are going to see a whole lot of sunshine the remainder of the work week and into the weekend. Temperatures staying warm, upper 70s and low to mid-80s as we head on in to Saturday. Not bad.
Not bad,
at all.
except we have to get through this morning
This morning,
rush,
yeah.
and it's pretty lousy out there because of the wet roads. The travel times are incredible. Let's check in with Sky 5 Mike Lorber, who says, boy, these tri-state delays are crazy.
It gets the big ugly award, yeah, northbound tri-state delays. Let's just call it in pockets, Don, from Kedzie most of the way up through 55th. Further north, you'll find some delays up towards O'Hare, and they run 290 to about north of North Avenue, Don.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead and peek at your favorite travel time. The outbound Kennedy, over an hour out to O'Hare. The outbound 290, over an hour out to Route 53. A couple of real hot spots we're watching in Fox Lake, northbound 12 at the Route 59 overpass. Word of an overturned minivan there, just getting reports of that. Barrington Hills, we've got a crash on Algonquin just east of Lake Cook. Lombard heads up for an accident North Avenue at Route 53. And on the ramp from the southbound side of I-55, we've got a crash on the ramp to I-80. Art, Nacita, back to you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, Don.
We'll check weather and traffic before you walk out the door at 7 a.m. here on NBC5.
And as we wake up this morning, how about a trivia question? What movie did Abbott and Costello's Who's on First routine debut in? There was a movie.
Okay.
And that Who's on First routine that we all know so well, Abbott and Costello's routine, debuted in this movie.
Want to be on TV? Here's your chance. NBC5 and Coca-Cola Classic present Be a Star in Hollywood with TNBC. Just log on to NBC5.com. Win a family trip to California and an NBC studio tour. What are you waiting for? Click on NBC5.com.
Real-time closed captioning on NBC5 Chicago is brought to you in part by Jiffy Lube, Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana's favorite oil change.
As Sandy Whiteley, a director, said, I think I may have stumped the chump. What movie did Abbott and Costello's Who's on First routine debut in? Shelley, you say your husband would know?
Yeah, I can't wake him up, though.
Really?
Yeah.
It's almost 7 o'clock.
Well, I know.
Okay. All right. Well, the answer is the movie Naughty 90s. Art?
Well, never mind. 6:56, Britney Spears kicks off her first concert tour, and it begins tonight. Her tour is designed to promote her album, and it's entitled Oops, I Did It Again. It begins tonight in Maryland and ends in France in November. The young performer says she's also looking forward to branching out. By the way, her latest CD holds the record for the best first week sales by a solo artist, and her album placed second. Lisa Gibbons lands back on her television feed, this time at night. Her daytime syndicated talk show was canceled recently, but now Gibbons will replace Maureen O'Boyle at the popular tabloid show Extra. Gibbons will take over the anchoring job when Extra starts its 7th season.
Let's talk about the weather before we go.
Let's talk about a very wet forecast, giving you a live look at Doppler radar this morning. Widespread showers throughout the afternoon. We are expecting scattered thunderstorms as well. Boy, it's a good thing Kevin, our chimney sweep, cleaned it yesterday, because today is a washout. We will continue to see scattered thunderstorms throughout the afternoon and evening hours. Warm and muggy, low 80s for daytime highs. Once we make it through today, we warm back up and dry back out the remainder of the work week and into the weekend. But today, it's a wet one.
And because of Shelley, it's going to take you forever to get to work.
Oh.
Just joking. Let's check in with Sky 5 and Mike Lorber. Mike?
It'll take you forever if you're going northbound tri-state. Big delays, Kedzie to 95th, 83rd toll to 55th, Don.
Look at these travel times. They're pretty incredible, going up as we speak. In Libertyville now, we've got a jackknife semi. Milwaukee north of Buckley. Wakanda, we've got this accident northbound 12 at Route 59. Lombard heads up for one at North Avenue at Route 53. And on the northbound tri-state, heads up for a crash on the side at 95th. Huge delays on the tri-state this morning, guys.
Try and stay dry this morning. Get through today, and Shelley says it's going to be marvelous for the first full day of summer tomorrow. Thanks for joining us. The news begins at 11 o'clock, and thanks to our folks who are going to be performing at the Rialto Theater on Wednesday.
Man, he's
this
good.
vaudeville act.